read them?
Yes, I sent you this.
Hold on. And I think the last time we saw was yes. Well done. Yeah. So how do we move from here? Go directors. Okay, directors. But do you have like a map? Exact address? No, we don't. It's just address. Do you know how you can navigate your way from here? Yes. I think she can lead us. Okay, but we should still just have a general idea. AGI, just actually. And we arrived there. We were told that the AGI was absent. We asked for his or her deputy. They promised to call and they said they were absent. We eventually located the AGI person on the phone. She used her phone to call her, and she asked her, "Please, I'm here now, and I've come to answer your call." And she said, "Well, right now I'm at the state offices, and I cannot attend to you." And she said, "Well, but you invited me, so what's next?" And she said, just hang in there, we'll get back to you." Subsequently, we placed several calls to her and she never replied. So we were there for almost an hour. And when she didn't show up, we opted with the human rights attorneys that followed me, three of them, to leave and wait for the next steps the federal government would be taking through the NYC. Because the initial invitation extended to her did not state that she committed any offense. It just said, "Please see me tomorrow at 10 a.m." And we felt like she needs the support of all Nigerians, whether you whether you are in the NYC or not. Because for me, somebody who in their youthful age offered to serve in the NYC program, which in my view has outlived its usefulness, but that's a conversation for another day, ought to enjoy the best protection, whether it is in speech, physically, mentally, emotionally, because you're serving your nation. You're like a soldier, but this time around, you are without a weapon to even defend yourself. And we know all the stories about NYC. But one other dimension I was disturbed in was to find out that people who were affiliated with the ruling government were calling for her head. One of the aides to the president even said that she should be given a death penalty for insulting the president. Some other ones. He said capital punishment. Said capital punishment under the NYC here. A capital punishment is basically a death penalty. That's why they call it capital. Under the NYC is expulsion. Maybe they're not. They don't understand what it means. But the question, so there were others who were asking her to be driven away from Lagos because this is their ancestral land. So it was taking all kinds of dimension, and we felt like this person who is in a fragile position needs the support of all, and that's why we did this today. For those of us who have engaged in the NYC service before, we know what it means to leave your home, your parents, your comfort zone to go serve. I served in Adamawa State, and I know what I went through under the military serving. Till today, I was never given an NYC certificate because I protested while I was against the military. I said things I didn't like, and I was sanctioned. So that is where we are in 2025, and you were asking a question when you opened this conversation that you want to ask whether she should be suspended or not. That question should never have come up at all. When you talk about free speech, it is constitutionally guaranteed. But it's not only constitutionally guaranteed; it's one of the fundamental human rights described by the UNDHR, which guarantees citizens of the world the right to freely express themselves, move around, associate with other people. And she has merely expressed herself in this case. The president of Nigeria today does not own Nigeria, does not own their lips, and can't tell people what to say and what not to say. If you don't want people to say things to you as president of Nigeria, you better just ship out.
Yes. All right, so let's look at even claiming to know her location. What other form of support are you giving to her this time?
Well, the most important support is to give her physical succor and emotional assurance that the whole country is behind her. We could have told her that we are bringing in the special protection unit of the police, but that is not our job. In fact, it is the federal government that ought to have moved in now to protect her personally. She should be specially protected. She should have a protected status because of all the threats that is sent her way. But one thing I found very interesting about her is that she's also very firm. She's very clear. She was not apologetic. She was in high spirits when we met her, and we left her in that same position. And that's very reassuring for us to find young people her age, in her 20s, in this country, who can stand by their position when they're up against the most powerful person in the country. I really commend her for that. And she will be the second female to start speaking up, and you're going to hear more of that. But we must, let people know that it's not enough. It's not enough to just, vibrate online, which is great. But people must start to look for a way to bond together and deliver themselves out of this physically. See, the minority is more powerful than a divided majority. And this lady is speaking for the 200 million people who are frustrated, who are disenchanted, who are disenfranchised, who have been prevented from achieving some of the most basic needs as citizens of this country. She's speaking for them. And you could tell from the outpouring of support that there is anger in the land. But the bunch is shut down, and then he decided to self-immolate. And the country was ignited in a revolution that consumed everybody in power. I'm not predicting that we're there yet, but who knows how fast we get there. So, but I guess it's quite heartwarming that you have an outpouring of support for her. But the support is more from people saying, look, you're speaking exactly to what is affecting us. It was just like she's a lone voice in the wilderness, but now she's got an echo chamber.
One last thing question I will ask you before we let you go is this noticeable trend on how the word or the phrase Lagos smells has sparked strong reactions on social media. Last year, a nurse made a similar statement and faced severe backlash, with some even calling for her dismissal. I think she even had to leave the country at some point. And now again, we hear this same statement from the Corp member, and then people are reacting same way to it again. What are your thoughts on this?
Lagos smells. That's a fact. Lagos is very dirty, dingy, and a city that is not what it should be. And so, if anybody said it, the person is just repeating what is true. But we have also seen a noticeable trend of the governor's office assembling social media influencers, paying them heavily to go after people who tell truth to power in Lagos. You remember one of his aides that even confessed that, if people know what they did during NSAS, how they were killing people, and then he was suspended briefly and he's back now because I think the Lagos State government or governor has an office for xenophobia that is well funded. So they are the ones who push back against the truth against Lagos. And the reason is that anytime you speak truth about Lagos, you're also talking to the main man in Abuja because they're the ones who destroyed Lagos.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining the program to contribute to our conversation today. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Lagos, we still have the senior program.
Well, you will need to talk to your people here.
Yes, guys, I just finished a program on Nigeria Info, and sure, where we just came back from a very long day supporting Talk to Ray, that's Rita, the lady who's a young youth corps member who was invited to come and explain why she said Tinubu is a terrible president because of inflation and her inability to afford the lifestyle that she deserves because she was earning mega 33,000 naira, which basically is about how much is that in dollars? Is $1 or how many dollars is that? It's probably like, I don't know. So she was invited, they have been harassing, threatening her, and they decided to follow her today. And I must tell you, and I've always been saying this, I am now convinced that the next revolution will happen from TikTok for Nigeria. So you guys on TikTok keep going, and maybe now I'm getting closer to coming for my regular TikTok show. Anytime I want to start, something just crop up in my life, and but now I promise that I will be getting here more frequently. Please get as many people as possible to follow me on TikTok so that we can be having robust engagement conversations, sharing ideas, and also talking about the revolution here. It is due. I'm pretty sure that this revolution is upon us, and I hope we make it happen faster than they expect. Thank you, and I'll be back tonight again. I have another show, and I hope they will let us broadcast it live to you. Have a nice evening, afternoon, actually.